Okay, for this episode of Meow's Kitchen, I'm going to teach you how to do braised short ribs in a Dutch oven. So, right here I have 2 pounds of short ribs, seasoned. I have onions, celery, carrots, about half a cup each. I have a cup of red wine, a cup of beef stock, 1 tablespoon of garlic, 1.5 tablespoon of tomato paste, salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon of each mix, and some thyme, about 3 sprigs. Seasoning, I use this seasoning blend that I purchased in Maine. This consists of salt, chili peppers, garlic, paprika, some mesquite powder. You can season that shit with whatever you want. Salt, pepper, garlic, just salt and pepper. Up to you. In case you guys were wondering, this right here, the culinary term for this trio is called a mirepoix. This is usually the base of a lot of recipes out there, and it gives the dishes a lot of flavor. A lot of soups are made with this, a lot of stocks, a lot of braised dishes. Just look it up. It's called mirepoix. So right here I have my Dutch oven. If you didn't know what a Dutch oven was, it's this shits right here. Usually comes with a thick ass lid. It's very good for braising meats and making stews and soups and whatever you want. So I have the heat on, medium. The first thing you do when you braise any kind of meat, whether you're making a stew, anything, any kind of meat that you're gonna braise, you need to sear it for a couple of minutes on each side. I was just testing to see if the oil was hot enough. But you need to sear the meat for about, 1 to 2 minutes on each side just to brown it. This is gonna lock in the juices for the slow cooking process to keep it nice and juicy. So I have them in the Dutch oven, braising, getting it brown. Alright. It's a nice little brown right there. Want to make sure every single side is seared. So these little pieces are a little tricky. Now, say you got, got these thick ass pieces and these 2 skinny ones. These 2 skinny ones are not going to take as long as these ones. You don't want to, fully cook these guys. So these I would only, leave them down until they're brown on each side and take it out. But since these are fat, you would use the 1 minute, 2 minutes per side rule. I'm going to go ahead and take those guys out and let these guys continue to brown. Okay, I'm good with my browning. So I'm going to take this shit off. See a nice little Maillard reaction going on there. Maillard reaction is the chemical reaction between meat and the heat element. That whole process of browning meat is called a Maillard reaction. So all this right here I'm going to leave in the pan, and I'm going to saute the vegetables next in it. Okay, so I'm going to throw my garlic in there. I'm going to brown that a little bit. I'm going to add my mirepoix. Cook that okay if it gets all brown. It's flavor, and it'll reduce off later. I am going to season this with salt and pepper. Got my salt and pepper. Gonna pour it all in there. It may seem like a lot for this, but it's actually for the whole dish. I'm just gonna cook it until the onions are a little translucent. I reduced the heat down to medium. Now I'm gonna add my tomato paste. It's kind of hard doing this shit with one hand. And then the assistant. I am going to mix the tomato paste until the tomato paste is caramelized. Tomato paste is going to act as a thickener in this dish, this sauce. It also gives it some more acids to break down the meat, make it nice and tender. It smells so good. Yum. The heat is still on medium. Alright, now I'm going to add my red wine. And I'm going to let that combine and let it simmer until it's reduced, just to kind of break down the alcohol flavor. This should take about 5 minutes to reduce down. So I'm going to leave it simmering like that, unbothered. Alright, so it's reduced down about half. Now I'm going to add in our beef stock. I'm going to mix that up. And now I'm going to add back in our short ribs. Now when you put the short ribs in, you want the meaty side in the liquid. Now see, I might have to do some adjustments to this recipe since I have these thick ass pieces right there. I'm gonna add more beef stock. I'm adding in another cup. The reason why I'm adding in more is because I want to make sure that the meaty part is submerged in the liquid source, because that's how you're gonna get your braise going on and the meat nice and tender. It needs to be floating in some kind of liquid. So the first part is done. I have my oven preheated to 275. I'm gonna add in this thyme to that mix and then cover it with the lid and let it cook in the oven for about 3.5 hours.